Hello and welcome. I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on a program to compare tunes for similarity, and we're to the point where we want to get sound in our application. So we've come a fair ways towards it. It's still somewhat experimental, but I think we can get it connected today and make it do something, and then refine what we have. All right. Let's see. So we left off. Let's get to SoundPlayer. We have. SoundPlayer is going to take symbols, which are in our domain objects, our music domain. And symbols are either notes or rests. We're going to convert them to note info, which is just a MIDI note number, how long do you play it, and what time do you start playing it, in beats, I guess. Let's see. And TUNE info just runs through and converts each note into the note info. So we see it appending in and keeping track of the beat and so on. All right. And then once you have that, we're calling, well, I think we could have a better name than TUNE-player, but TUNE-player is going to convert the note info, which is our little helper class, into a music player. So music player is a part of Audio Toolbox, and you can feed it MIDI and it will go. And in that sense, a music player contains a sequence, contains a track, and the track contains the notes. All right, this, I think I may have done this just after we finished yesterday. We have the player up here at the class level, so let's take that comment out. All right, and then for now, even though we converted this thing to note info and we want to use note info, we're not referencing it, okay? We're just putting in that scale that we had in our demo app. We return it, and then when you call play, we set the speed, it's not really beats per minute at this point, but some relative of that, and we tell it to start playing, and I believe it kicks off a separate thread. All right. I think, again, I'm not quite sure what I did at the end of the session yesterday or just after, but at one point I tried making everything happen in this method just to see if I can get things going, but this stuff is not what should be there. Okay, really, you should just be doing this much. All right, and this triggers what I believe is a separate thread that runs the player and plays the notes. All right, now we had a test. This first test is how do we convert our notes, our symbols to note info, and we just have simple notes right now. We need to do rests, and we need to, make sure it's all kind of together. But we had test play, and the goal is create a sound player with an empty tune, since we're not really doing anything with them. It's okay. And then play. But I don't know if you can hear, but what you didn't hear was the sound. Okay. Now, what my strong suspicion was and came out is the fact is the test is running so quickly and terminates before the sound player had a chance to even kick on and do anything. So I'm going to put a sleep in, and I think sleep takes seconds, but this should work. Yep, there it is. Okay. So, I don't want to sleep in my test. I don't even want this test to be here. Really, we're in a weird place. Usually we can test drive stuff and mock out things and all that stuff, but we're just kind of trusting the example. That's like you just attach these things together and go. There's no we found a way to sort of peek inside, but it's not really a supported way as far as I can tell. And it, we're just kind of trusting it to do its job, even though it takes 4 or 5 steps to do it. But that's the way it's going to be. Okay. So let's see. So I think what our compromise is, we do this conversion. So rather than converting directly from symbols to the MIDI notes, we convert it to this, and this thing converts to MIDI notes in a very straightforward way. It really is just a data bag, just a few fields, and they're going to be copied in. Let's see, they'll be copied in this MIDI note message. That's hard-coded. That's one of our fields. Hard-coded, another one of our fields. And then the timestamp is another one of our fields. And so we're providing all the real information it needs. We trust that we can copy the right fields from there to there and manually verify it once and then call it a day. It's kind of a consequence of, well, this thing's an ancient setup. I don't know when it got started being used in Apple ecosystem, but it's very clearly a kind of C interface. We're passing addresses to stuff and pointers back and no try catch. It's all status codes and, the whole bit. Okay. So it's not well wrapped from our perspective, and it's not TDD, very testable from our perspective. Low observability. I have to actually play the music to know if it's going to work. And I know I have to at some point, but I don't want to have to do that all the time. So we're going to trust that this method is going to end up not too complicated. And once it's together, we believe it will keep working. So far we can play that scale. Now, the next step I want to do, even though it's not playing anything relative to our notes, I just want to get it hooked up into our app. Okay, and so we have a button. Okay, here's SoundPlayer, SoundStage, tests. Where's SoundStage? Here we go. Oh, let's check this in because we do have it working. It's a hard-coded song. It's even a song. Okay. It's just a scale. All right, but I would like to... Okay, here's SoundPlayer and SoundStage. And Sound View. Okay, so let's take a peek at the preview. Trying to get better at using previews. But down here somewhere, no tunes available, picker, and there's a button with stage.play. Oh, okay. So this might actually work already. Okay, let's get this in. We'll have to put some actual tunes in to get this thing able to play. And I can select any of these, but it's hopefully going to play a scale. Oh, nothing. Oh, okay. I'm seeing a blink. Okay, oh, playing. Okay. Where's that text coming out of? Oh, okay. So we've hooked up the button, we've hooked up the player, but we haven't connected everything together. Okay, so we need to create a sound player with the tunes symbols. Okay. Well, our whole setup is a little goofy, isn't it? I guess I'm saying it's goofy because I think we need to hold these tunes around. but for now that shouldn't stop us. So let's do SoundPlayer. Let's make it empty for now. And let's see what we have to do. We create it. That calls ToPlayer, which does all that. And then we're going to call .play. Okay. And that will come out. Let's run it again. Okay, that's there. We'll select something. Ha! All right. Okay. Hook up SoundPlayer to UI. Okay. So the pieces, they're kind of there, but not enough. Let's see. SoundPlayer tests. Okay, so okay, I'm gonna say we've at least hooked this up into the UI. So let's start keeping track of that. Okay. All right. So we've done that. We're not really playing a tune. Okay, but I think we can do that. I'm going to take this test out because I don't want a test that sleeps. These are unit tests, and I'm afraid that one's just going to have to be a real test. Let's see. The other thing I noticed was this error we're getting, no factory registered. As far as I can tell from multiple posts, this is an artifact of the simulator. We hopefully won't get that in the real one, but it's not stopping anything from working. It's just kind of a leftover message is what the articles claim. Okay, so let's go back to SoundPlayer and keep that around. All right. So what's missing? Well, ToPlayer doesn't need to return this stuff. It's just going to, what's it returning? A music player. We just got it as a global. So we're going to remove ToPlayer's return. Find a better name for that. Okay. We need to handle, well, we really need to get the music, we need to use the node info, not just this hard-coded scale. Okay, so that's kind of this one, use node info. We need to convert rest to node info. Okay. Fix this initial selection thing. Yeah, that should be doable. Okay. I think we're just calling this sound now. Okay, row ToPlayer's return. That's pretty straightforward. All right. Oh, we need to deal with the speed. Okay. There's no complaining. Oh, another one. We got to work on this status. Okay. I don't know how fancy I want to be about that, but right now we're just accumulating it. We don't put it anywhere. I'm surprised it's not complaining. To be frank, we made a local variable. We had changed it, but we didn't read it ever. Okay, I guess we did read it from status or equals, but we didn't use it for anything but itself. All right, this should work. And I guess this will have to run with a manual test. And that's going to get a little old, isn't it? But with no observability, I don't think we have an option. Okay. That wouldn't be working if that weren't working. Okay, so we remove return value from ToPlayer. Okay. What are we really doing there? It's not, maybe it's configure player. With node info. I can buy that. On just to rename, I think we'll run tests and accept. Okay, rename ToPlayer to configure player. Okay. Okay, so now we want to convert that node info. All right, so we have node infos. I don't know, can we just call this notes? Okay. Basically, okay, we got time. I think we started at 1. Yeah. Okay. So I don't think we need time. I guess what I think we need is for note in notes, do something. And that's going to be address of note. Okay. Let's make this note info. And then we can just keep this. Okay. And we got note, duration, and time. Okay, so this is note info.note, note info.duration, and note info.time. Now, all this goes away. What's the error here? Float 32 versus 16 or something. Music timestamp, yeah, I can live with that. Who's the double? Argument type, music timestamp. Well, why is... okay, let's accept this, but I don't think it's our long-term solution. Why not just make these beat music timestamps in the first place, right? Okay, let's run tests. Okay, now let's open our file. We can at least choose a short one. Okay, 28 no scale and shorthand. Sound. That one is short. This should play all the notes with no rests. Oh, it's not. Okay, what's going on? Now this, we're still getting that message. And I think this is running native on the Mac. I don't think it's in a separate simulator. Okay. And it's okay, so let's break. Let's break here. Okay, and let's take a look at result. 0 values. Okay. Let's look at symbols. 0 values. We're not passing something in correctly. Symbols coming in. Okay, so the caller. Soundstage play. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. All right, well, I guess the time has come to do what this thing really needs. Okay, so I think what's going on is it gets called consume when we update the pipeline and put the sound in there, and it builds the options array. But it's not, when you get down to play, that's happening at some time later. There's no tunes around anymore. There's no input or any of that stuff. So I think what we're going to check, yeah, how much do I want to check? This is this is the consequences of letting this thing be kind of a call only type thing here. The only, well, the trick I have, I guess, or the technique, is that we can override the method, the play method, and verify that the tune is correct. I think that would be enough for me. But it's a complicated thing, right? Because the selection, let's see, okay, this map, right? Those selectors are tune ID plus titles. So we don't really know which tune that is. I don't know if we can. There's even a little risk because the tune, there's nothing that enforces that tune IDs are unique, even though they're sort of supposed to be. Lots of times the standard for ABC says, if it's not right, do your best. Okay, and you can have problems because, you might merge two files and they have duplicate IDs or, just stuff like that. Okay, so we want to verify that the selected tune what do we want to verify? Okay. I don't think anybody's looking at output. What I would love to do... See, we're turning these into strings. Let's get to our view. Let's make sure this is indented right. Gets a little deep. Okay. Well, the selection here takes that tune and then it runs through the options and ID self. So that's really saying each string is its own thing. Okay, so I guess what I want to do, the test is feed in some stuff, run, call this with one of the strings, and then I think we'll have to isolate this line and override it and verify that the song it gets is the one we expect. Okay. And I think if we say, you know, if you got duplicate IDs, which you really kind of shouldn't have, we'll just play the first one. It's got to have the same ID and title too. So a little less chance maybe. All right. So I'm going to pull this out. Stop that. Okay. We made an extracted function. Let me move it below. I'm going to call it SoundPlayer play. Okay, and that's my hook. I don't need it to be file private, but need to be able to override it. And let's write a test. So soundstage tests. All right. Okay, and we got a couple of tunes. This is fine. We'll need that. We'll need that. Okay, so we're going to create a soundstage. We've got tune 0 and tune 1 in our list. Excuse me. We're going to consume the packet. And then we're going to test the play method. Excuse me. The play method dot play selected tune. All right. The selected tune, let's play. We'll have to know how it does it. Just ID : title. X0 : tune. Well, let's do 1. X1 : tune 1. Okay. Now, what are we going to assert? Well, I guess we're going to override SoundPlayer play and let's preserve the notes that it actually plays. Okay, so we'll add this helper class sound stage. Is it a spy? Soundstage has no member consume. That sounds unlikely. Public override function consume input packet. Maybe he's just confused by this. Okay. I don't know if we call it a spy. It's a sound stage. Okay. And we need to use the spy version. Okay. Now it's going to have, well, SoundPlayer takes symbols, right? So we're going to have some symbols. I think we can just give this tune one note parts. Let's see. I know we got some tests that do this. Okay. Parts might be a hash table kind of thing. Yeah. Character to measure. Okay. Do we have an easy way to build a measure? I feel like we put some stuff in our test to do this. Tune help test helper. Symbols. Okay, we can use symbols and get a list of notes. Okay, so all right, so our parts is going to be where is that thing? Parts. Well, we can just pass that. Let's get in the right file. All right, so this can be A goes to measure. Measure. All right, and we'll let, whoops. We want that on the other one. Oh, well, what doesn't it like? Measure. Expected key expression. Oh, I don't have a bracket. A to measure, and measure is going to be measure meter dot common and notes, was it? Where'd that helper go? Ugh. Symbols with a bunch of note names. Gives an array of symbols, which is what measure wants. Okay. Cannot convert value of string to expected element type array of symbol. AKA symbol. Oh, wait a minute. Symbol is note names. Oh. Oh, it's all quoted together. It's not an array. Okay. Okay, so come on. Okay, so we create a measure, attach it to tune1. Now, what's your problem? String to measure be an instance of a class or class constraint type in mutable dictionary Cocoa. All right, let's hope this is not needed. Okay, so the A part, the only part of our tune, maps to that measure. All right. Oh, jeez. Okay, let's move that down to the right test. Tune 1 the old way and the new way. Okay, so now we have tune 1 with a measure. Maybe it'll be more clear like this. We build the stage. We put tune 0 in together. We create a measure for tune 1. We add both those to the packet. We consume it. And then we call play with x1 tune 1 being the identifier for this. Okay. And then we want to check well, I guess we want to say stage.notes played. We want to assert equal. Stage.notes played. That's a field we're going to create. Should be CD. Okay, so now notes played. Let notes played equal nothing. Var. Okay, so this thing should be okay now. All right, so you play this thing. You select tune 1 to play, and it should play tune 1's notes. Sounds plausible. All right, this test will fail. Our spy doesn't override anything, so for one thing, we're going to get, well, that breakpoint can go away. Okay, test failed. Good. Didn't find any notes. All right, so now we're going to override a method. We're going to override that play method. SoundPlayer main method. Okay, so let's just take that. All right, and this is override. SoundPlayer play. All right, so now we got rid of the sound playing, right? So that's something. Okay, and we still fail because we don't well, we don't capture the notes. That's a problem. So what notes are we going to capture? Well, we can see there's a problem with our interface here. This SoundPlayer play really needs to get the list of symbols. So let's move that argument up. And this is symbols. And then we'll need to do the same in our override. Okay. Again, shouldn't change anything, but now we can map these symbols. Okay. Now we're not going to pass still, but let's make notes played equals symbols dot map, and you can only play notes, so let's just get the names and call it a day here. So symbol in, well, $0 dot pitch dot, no, that's not a good thing to get. Okay. Let's see. Pitch doesn't keep the names around. Okay. Let's go back to symbol. Well, really, we know it's a note. It's got a note. Okay, so let's filter out the non-notes. Filter included if $0 dot is note. Okay, only include the notes. Now we can map $0 well, symbol dot symbol dot, if it's a note, do we get that back from it? Symbol dot, no, we have to do a little switch statement or something, I think. All right. I guess we can do this if case let thing. Okay. If it's right, do something else. Return nothing, I guess. Okay, let's close the map. Okay, so if this thing is a note, okay, we haven't finished yet. Dot joined. Okay, so if the symbol is a note, then we're going to return note dot note name. Okay. Cannot convert character to string. Okay. Could be simpler. All right, but we've accumulated the notes played at this point. All right, now this is going to fail yet again. I mean, we're nudging it in the right direction, which is okay. All right, why does it fail? Well, it's still got an empty string, regardless of we're passing the symbols in. We passed in an empty list of symbols, so yeah, it's going to have to be empty. Okay, this is hard-coded to empty. All right, now this should be getting it from the tunes. All right, and what that tells me is we're going to have to keep these tunes around so that when you're done selecting and you hit play, we know which tune to play. All right, so let's say tunes equals input.tunes. Okay, I guess if I do this, I can find out what its type should be. It should be just array of just tunes. Okay. Okay, so now we've kept the tunes. Oh, it wants an initialized value. Let's just make it an empty list for now. Is he okay with that? No. Okay. Empty list of tunes for starters. As soon as you consume a packet, you have a real list of tunes. And now we can map tunes to tune ID and title. All right. Let's define a function for this. Function tune name. No, its name's not the right. Tune selector. Maybe just selector. I don't know, I might have been able to extract method there. Okay, so now we can just map this to selector of $0 because that's a tune. Okay. And, okay, let's do tunes dot first where $0 dot selector is selected tune dot selector for $0 should be the label again. Okay, and let symbols equals this, otherwise empty. Okay, so if we don't find the tune that we said we should be able to select, then we don't play anything. Okay, and we'll pass symbols in. All right. Now, well, what's the problem here? Cannot convert value of any to expected type tunes.element. Symbols. Oh. Okay, let's do this. Symbols could be nil. If it's not, we're going to do that. Okay, so we know it's not nil. Oh, we don't need to. Oh, I could do that, couldn't I? Tune. Symbol question mark is notes not a. It returns a symbol. All right, we know tunes is not nil. Let's do that. Okay. Okay, so if the tune is found, then we play its notes. Okay, which is its symbols, which might be a better name, but let's see if that will work. A little ambiguous, maybe. Let's change that. Probably should have finished my okay. And I believe our test is going to work. Okay. Let's see. Where are we going wrong here? We're finding the first tune that matches the selector. This is really a tune selector. Whoops. Okay, tune selector. We find the first tune that matches the tune selector because its selector is the same as it. And if the tune is found, we call play. In our case, we're saying it's not found. So let's pause here. Okay, so tunes should be our to list. Tunes. Whoops. Okay, two values. Tune 0, tune 1. Tune 1 has some notes. All right, so let's print our selector. X1 colon tune 1. Oh. All right. Let's print selector of tunes 0. X1 colon space tune 1. That looks the same to me. All right. Let's step over. Whoa, what? Okay, we got X1 tune 1. If I continue, why was this called? What? Okay, we should have a tune. It should be tune 1. It sure looks like tune 1. Yeah, that should be tune 1. Okay. Zero values. Okay. How is that coming back with no values? It says it has 2 symbols. Okay, let's go break here. I'm going to continue. I should get here. Okay. Print measures. Oh, interesting. This is the tune. Print parts. And I'll probably have to configure it more. Yeah. All right. If you're going to use parts, you're required to tell it what parts to use. Okay. Okay, so metadata, we need to tell it parts. Okay. Clear out these breakpoints as we hit them. Actually, we can just clear them all. Yay. Oh, that was easy. All right. So we've used this. Well, we've used this technique of bending the design a little bit to force the problematic method that actually calls SoundPlayer, our troublesome piece, and we override that in the test so that when you call SoundPlayer play, we just track the symbols. We don't interpret. Now, I feel like, well, no, symbols, just an array of symbols. Can't do much with that. Yeah. Now maybe we could get something a little easier. Let's go see what a symbol does for its print. Debug description, note description. This might be acceptable. Let's try that. Okay, so I'm gonna simplify this and just symbols.map $0.debug description. Okay, and that gives me. I guess I probably need to do a join still. Okay, this is going to make my assertion wrong because they're going to have fancier stuff. I'll probably put semicolon space in there after a moment. Okay, what do you got? C, natural 4. Yeah, this description is okay. And I will put that semicolon space in there. Okay. Whoops. Joined. Oh, separate. I always forget that. Okay. And let's go again. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I want to make this much more. I'm trying to make this more transparent. we can. That other thing where we were checking types and everything just sounded like, oh, that's going to be error prone. This I can live with. So it's this note name, the accidental defaults to natural, octave defaults to 4, note defaults to 1/8, note key defaults to C. It's not impossible to understand, but I think that's an improvement. Okay, let's run. Tests are all green. We're going to run with that ABC file again. Let's take the little one. Okay, so number 3. Well, okay, back to Parsons. That sounded like a lot more notes than that did. Maybe not. Okay. I'm going to play this one just because it's long. We'll just once play a long one. Okay, I can suspect that we're going to want to be able to play only certain sections of this thing. But where's that play speed? Okay, who calls this? He's got a very fast. Yeah. And we'll play at double speed. Let's play it at single speed. Okay. Okay, we'll take this one again. And I guess it doesn't matter which ones we do. No scaling. You can definitely hear Deck the Halls in that. You can hear long notes and short notes. And you can hear something that doesn't really sound like Deck the Halls. Okay, number 3 was the short one. We'll take that one. Switch away. Still keeps going. All right. I mean, you look at these shapes, they don't look very similar, and you listen to the tunes, they don't sound very similar. So I think something accurate is going on there. All right. But we're playing. Okay. This is cool. Okay. So test sound player. That it's calling with the right tune. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, that's good, good, good. Play tune, use note info. Yes, that we're doing. Because we're playing, let's say, play the selected tune. Note info. Okay. And convert rests, deal with the speed, capture errors, and fix this selection thing. Okay, so the rests, let's see, that's back to this. Not SoundStage, but SoundPlayer. So with this, we've got something that's like bon, don, di. You know, it's 3 increasing notes, a short, a longer, and a shorter rhythm. Okay, but if you put rests in, we should deal with it. We basically we need to bump the time forward, and so it's just sitting there waiting. Okay, okay, sequence of notes and rests. Note info. Okay, so we'll stick a rest in maybe right here. This is a rest, and the rhythm, we'll give it a 2 beats, maybe 3. We're not listening to it. Okay, one more. Okay, so we have 1 note of C. It should be a rest for 3 beats. A note of 2 beats and a 1 beat. Okay, cannot find rest. Oh, where's symbol? Oh, dot rest. Okay, a note, rests. Okay, so now the expected notes, they're still the same notes. Okay, C, D, E. The count is the same. The expected notes is the same. The durations are the same, but the start times are different. Okay, so this is still a quarter note, 2 quarter notes, 1 quarter note, but this has start time 1 and 2, 3, 4. So this is 5. Does +3 sound right? Yes, because we added 3. And that lasted 2 beats, so this is +3 is 7. Okay, because this rhythm should change the start time for the 3rd note, and then that affects the following notes. Okay, and this should fail, because right now we just look at notes. Hey, Sealforce, nice to see you. All right, so we're working on this program to compare tunes, musical tunes for similarity, and one of the things I wanted to add was something to let you actually hear the tune. We've got some graphs and stuff like that, but we're doing something to read the tune, hear the tunes, and I've got a little SoundPlayer which uses Audio Toolbox, which is kind of a C-based library, or it looks like a C-based library, and we're trying to convert our domain symbols, which are notes and rests, into this note info, which is sort of like the critical information the MIDI stuff needs, the SoundPlayer needs. And we've done that for notes, but we don't have rests yet, so we're working on that. And the place we're looking is we basically want to get the note info for each symbol and put them in, but we only deal with notes now, so we need to kind of reorganize this to deal with the rests as well. Okay, and so I think what we want to do, let's do symbols for each. Okay, this filter is definitely going away. This case is it's the case for a note. So we'll switch on $0. Let's see. How do I do this? It's like case dot rest of rhythm do something, and case note of let note is let note let rhythm. Okay. Now this should be the second case. Okay. Well, case. Oh, sorry. Can I do that? No. Okay. We'll just do nothing. Okay, so we pulled the original for each. We sort of flipped it around. Now, this, why are you ambiguous? Oh. Is that it? No, you're still ambiguous. This thing is array of symbol. Ambiguous. Huh. Type of expression is ambiguous. That looks okay to me. So this $0, well, it's, I mean, this should just be symbol in, and this should be symbol. You should know a type for that, error type. These have to peel off the $0. Whoops, did I do that right? Yeah, that gets the rhythm from there. The note is pitch. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Thanks. Make sure I've got my cases all balanced out. That goes there. That goes there. And then it's not producing anything. I don't know, that color. Okay, let's. Oh, now it goes away. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I can force this. Cannot find symbol and scope. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna. Huh. Okay, symbols you should know, right? Okay. Dot for each with a body. Okay, that should be fine. If I switch on symbol, should offer to do the cases for me. Sure. Okay. Oh, did I jump the gun on the rhythm? I think I did. Okay, this should just be let note. Notes rhythm. We'll have to deal with that constant someday. Okay, note dot. Pitch. Is that not enough? I guess dot pitch. It's a little redundant, isn't it? Okay. Immutable value rhythm. Okay, this should get us where we were. All right, so we should get one failing test. Hopefully this one. Right. Okay, good. All right, so now the deal is the rhythm. That's this. Okay. And this is just a rhythm ratio 4. And then beat plus equals duration. All right, we'll get this straightened out in a minute. But so if there's a rhythm, we're going to take its value, like quarter notes. So this 4 is because we're defaulting to quarter notes, and quarter note gets the beat kind of thing. We need to make sure we're being sophisticated enough there. But now we're saying beat plus duration. This should just pass. So on rests, we're just skipping the time forward. We're not accumulating any results. Okay, so now I'm going to simplify this. These two, let's see, durations used there. Okay, both of them calculate duration before their first step. So let's do that. So now you don't need this, and you don't need that. Okay. Whoops. Rhythm dot ratio. Okay. Oh, okay. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Okay. We've got duration, and now both of them end with the same line. So let's pull that down after the case, the switch. All right, this comes out of here. Now this is empty. Okay. I'm going to put a do nothing in there for a moment. All right, but what I want to do instead is if case note let note equals symbol. So if the symbol is a note, then we're going to do this piece. Okay, so we'll append the duration in. Okay, let note, right? And then this is all covered by the other. Okay, so I think, all right, so let's see how we think about this. Well, run the test first, but we're going to calculate the duration for the current symbol. And then if it's a note, we're going to add it to the result list. And we're going to move the clock forward by the duration of the note or rest. All right. Handle rests in music. Okay, so that's all right. Now this, let's go see this duplication. Pitch is a pitch. You might have stuff you want to do with a pitch, I guess. You want to compare them. And wow, that really is the same. But you got to calculate the octave and all that goes into it. Maybe pitch isn't the right word here. Let's call this note number. Okay, and then our test, player test. Whoops, no, our player. Pitch.note number. I think that makes more sense. Okay. Now, how are we feeling about all this? Because I don't want to come back to it. All right, so I think we're legitimately calculating the note based on duration, all that good stuff. We're configuring our player with whatever it needs. We leave the player ready to go. You just have to set the rate and start it. Okay. So I'm going to say we'll keep that. We rename pitch.pitch to pitch.note number. Okay. Now, what's our to-do say? Convert rest to note info. We've done that. Oops, 15th. Okay. So I think our next step is providing this sound, the speed setting. So this is where I question that for. So I think, well, from a UI end, we can put a slider in there. We know the range is, it's kind of like a powers of 2, I think. It's kind of like, where do you want it to get the beat? And so it's an inversey kind of thing too. But if you say 4, it's sort of like 4 times as fast. So each note takes 1/4 as long. And if you say 8, each note takes 1/8 as long. Musically, we'd like to say what gets the beat, or maybe we don't care. Maybe your scale, the problem is on the low end, you want to be I mean, if you did 5, you're saying play it 5 times as fast as nominal, I guess. That's way, way fast. I mean, we've just listened to it at 4, and it was just barely sensible in terms of paying attention to the music. But if you did it at a half, you're slowing it down. Okay. Well, maybe that range is more like, maybe it is powers of 2. I don't know. We'll go from -4 to +2 or +3, and 2 to the x will be the value we use for that speed setting. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we have to treat the sub-zero ones differently than the positive ones. I mean, if it, yeah. If it was -1, -2, -3, -4. If you did 2 to that, you'd get something. I don't know. Okay. Let's take a break. We've been going quite a while. 2 or 3 minutes, and we'll come back and get this speed gauge in there and see how we like that. All right. Thanks for joining. See you in a few minutes. Welcome back. All right. Let's see. A little speed setter dial. Where's our view? Now, I'm trying to get better at doing the library stuff and using the preview for things. So we want a slider. We can just drag this guy in here. I'm not sure how we know where we're putting him. Insert in vertical stack. Yes, that's what we want. What happened? Well, not the right V-stack. Okay, top line center V-stack. I guess he goes with the picker. Maybe he goes after the picker. What was that? There we go. Value. Okay, our stage does not have a speed yet, so we're forcing it in. Okay. This preview is very weak, isn't it? Okay. All right, so soundstage needs needs a speed setting, okay? And it's going to be a published Well, actually, we can defer that to this thing, to the view. We'll make the view track it. So the view, we'll give it a state. Speed, start at 1. Maybe 0. $speed. Init conforming to binary floating point. Does that help? Yes. Okay. All right. Now let's get our preview. Why? Soundstage. He's got tunes. Okay, that's only on consume. But I guess I can set it. I can force it, right? Okay, well, our test did one, so let's do that. No notes, but we have a tune. So sound view. Soundstage has tunes. Tunes with one tune to start with. Soundstage. Could I make that public? Okay, let's undo that. Take this out. Okay, what if I do it in here? I don't know if I can, maybe I can do it in knit. After it runs its setup, then we should be able to say stage.consume. We'll have to make a packet with tunes. Our tune. Whoops, something's off. We need a packet. Well, let's do it separate. let packet equal packet tune tunes and metadata. Tunes is tunes with tunes. For now, empty. Metadata, let's just put nothing. All right, and this should be tune metadata with some stuff in it. Okay, and stage consume packet. Okay, so this should put something in there. Static member stage cannot be used on instance. Does that have to be static? Oh, it's a preview. Okay. Ooh, all right. Can I do this like this? I don't know. I'm losing something there. Okay, tunes is that. Metadata that. Consume the packet. Okay, let's see if we got this straightened out. I want to see my other view. There we go. Okay. We've got to do some work on that slider. Oh, let's see, there's a way to do this too. Control. Can I do that? No. I know there's a way to. I literally just took notes on this. I thought it was a control option click would do it. Let's see what I really found. Control option click to inspect view. Well, I don't mind inspecting it, but is this? I don't think I'm getting what I hoped for. Right, somewhere there's like embed in. That's the views settings. This is why I get frustrated with this thing. There's supposed to be a way to say insert in HDAC or in group. No, I don't think any of this does that. Variants, live, device settings, preview on device. That's all zooms. Okay, we selected the V stack. There it is. Control Command. Okay. Embed an H stack. Yes. All right. I want to put some text in front. Playback speed. Okay. Now, when you set the slider, let's go find his, bounds. So we got the binding in a range, closed range. Okay. -4 to +4, let's say. Okay, and he starts at 0. Good. Okay. Now, somewhere we're passing that play. Stage.play, selected tune. Let's go look at that. Okay, he's got this hard-coded to 1. All right. I think we're going to have to say speed is double. Oh, it's got to come in here, doesn't it? Okay. I'm going to add this argument until we get it all the way up to the top. And play. It's a float 64. Let's make this a double. Okay, that matches our hard coding. Okay. I don't know. Is there power? Okay, so I'm trying to convert these to the right place at the right time. This thing wants speed to be what note gets the beat? Is that the way to say it? Okay. And I'm not going to try and test this. Well, we could test that. Okay, so These guys should be complaining. Yeah, there we go. Should be 4. Okay, and let's give it playback speed. SoundPlayer play needs to add speed of double. Okay, and then let's just capture that. Okay, this should pass. How did that pass? Stage.play with speed of double should pass twice, 2 to that speed. So 2 to the 2 should be 4. I don't believe it. Okay. How did you get to be? This is weird. Unless this is not doing what I think it should. 2 not equal nil. Okay. Is this the test that finds the tune? Yeah. Okay. Well, let's break here and just make sure that's going. Speed is 4. Stage.play should be power 2 to speed. Oh, this one's not following speed. Right, our override checks the speed, but this thing doesn't use it. Okay. See, that's kind of a limitation of this approach. We've completely overridden this method, and if we do anything wrong with it, we're in trouble. I tried to make it as minimal as possible, but there I did forget. Well, I knew I needed to copy it, but I thought the test would tell me, and the test does not tell me. Okay. So the test should pass. Good. Okay, set playback speed. Now we'll run the real one and make sure the range is plausible because I think it may be too high. So I guess that's just run. I think our small data set will reveal enough. Just the 3. Okay, let's go sound. Oops, go select one. Oh, and you can't control it while it's playing. I don't think you can. Boy, this could use a little border, couldn't it? That's too fast. I'm confused. Okay, so why is this fast? And this is... I'm confused. Okay, let's do a little probing here. Okay, there's speed. Let's print the speed we're playing at. Because that sounded all the same to me. Take this one's the short one. Okay, so that should be like 16 or something. 2. Okay. All right. Are we not tied in somehow? So, sound view. Maintains the state. It provides playback speed in this range. Ha ha ha. Okay. Well, 2 is darn fast, so I don't know what maximum speed's going to be. Should be painfully slow. That's too painful. 0.0625, so it's 1/20th speed. Double that, it's going to be 12, 10x. I'm going to say 2 is plenty there. My goodness. I don't know what happens if I start another one. Yeah. Okay, 4 is way fast too, right? This is 8x. I wonder, can I get Slider to kind of have little detent kind of things? Oh, I can add minimum labels and maximum labels. Okay. Let's run this again. Life's too short. Okay, we'll take our 3 and get to our sound. That's 0.25. Okay. .5 half speed. That should be close to 0. Oh, close to 1. I don't know what limit I have on channels either. Gosh, that's still pretty. Okay, let's try again. And that quarter speed, that's pretty slow. Let's see if the top speed seems fast enough. Number 3. Well, let's do number 1. That's as much as I would do. Okay, and let's focus on. Let's get the spacing a little better. I think a little space above the slider would be good. Well, a little above and below the whole thing would be good. Okay, so here's our V stack. This is everything. Let's just do padding. You can't really tell here. Okay, he's got a little padding. Let's give this guy a little padding too. I think it's the slider I care about. Well, the stack is fine too. Top. Is it like that? Let's just put padding and see how that looks. That's got some breathing room, I think. All right, let's take a look. That's better. Okay. I don't think there's anything more to do for that. That seems reasonably okay. Yeah. I feel like I've got a little more than I want down here. So let's just try the top again. I think I gotta do it like this, maybe. 20. Just to be bold, and yeah, that's not right. I think maybe I put them in an array. Yeah, edges and length. Okay. That looked better than I thought it would. Okay, let's see that in real life. Oh, yeah. Okay. Cool. All right, so make speed control work. Tweaked UI for it. Okay, now that we may revisit that as we get along in this, but I think, well, I gotta say, this still bugs me a bit. It's kind of deeply nested for what's going on. That's the VStack. That's all his stuff. That. Pulling this out a level, I think, will help the look of it a little bit. Well, I'm going to call this controls. What, I have a VStack with a VStack? That doesn't seem right. Whoa, that's not it. Okay. Oh, I did screw something up. Let's revert this. Okay, this is all part of this center. Oops. that parenthesis closes out the top line. Okay, so, right. So let's take all this. Heading there. Extract a method. Okay, so we've wrapped the sync shape. On top of that, I don't know, top line's not the best name, but okay. And set the contrast color, which seems like we might be doing that everywhere. So maybe that could be part of VStack of top line. All right, now let's look at this thing. We shouldn't need to say return here. Now this is there. And what's in the VStack, I think, is this VStack. Yes, so I still say one is redundant. And I still messed up something. Nope. Okay. That's a little better. I could almost see having this be at the outer layer. Instead of controls, I'm going to have this. If stage this, else controls. Okay. And this is just me trying to make things more readable. What's VStack? No. Controls. Else controls, yes. Bracket, bracket. Is that one too many? Yeah, that was one too many. Okay. Now that should be the same. All right, let's hide this a minute. Okay. If nothing is there, put up some text. Otherwise, do the controls. Okay. Now this, I want to find this thing's else clause. Take out that. And take out the if clause. Let's show preview again. Okay. Okay, so sound with nothing there, that looks right. If we open a file, it needs some more room. It group perfectly well. All right, let's do this one. Let's take a kind of intermediate. Good enough. Okay, then the other thing I had was this line, stage type dot contrast. I suspect everybody using top line is doing that. And oh, he doesn't get the stage though. He gets the stage name. Well, let's find this. Top line. Okay. Name, stage name, icon, stage icon. Name, stage name, icon, stage icon. Okay, everybody's doing that part. Okay, there's top line. All right, if we pass the stage, I think everybody can name an icon name. Those are part of the stage. All right. Now the other piece was the contrast color. Foreground color stage type dot contrast. Yep. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to say if we were to pass the stage in, all right, yeah, so this is some refactoring on the views. If this had the stage, what would that do? All right, let's build it. All those places are going to complain because they don't have the stage. Thank you. We didn't fix enough of these. Somebody's holding out on the build errors. So I click on the error, it runs away. No, I thought we did quantizer. Stage is stage. Okay. What's your problem? Missing argument. Let's do it clean. Yeah. Okay. Top line has stage. Now, top line can, he goes with the Z stack. All right, we can pull this code in to the end of the Z stack here. Okay, and we'll run that. Whoops, cannot find stage. Oh. I'm just going to find that print and get that out of here. All right, but what's your problem? Okay, let's do a build again. Clean. Okay, so he's got that. I'll take this one out. That shouldn't change the report. Okay, I don't think it did. All right. Average tune view. We already took it out. Filter view. Okay, was that everybody? All right, let's just zip through all these views, make sure they all look like they've got the right colors. Yep. Yep. Good. Okay, so we added stage to top line and moved foreground color setting to top line rather than individual views. Okay. Now, next thing in top line, I don't know, man, I'm thinking that word controls really fits it better. All right, the name, let's see where that is used. Oh, it doesn't highlight. All right, well, this isn't very big. So this is stage.name. And this is stage.icon name. All right, so we don't need the name or the icon name. All right, so those aren't being referenced now. Okay, and so all the call sites can avoid it. If I build, it should show me them. Same ones. Okay, so name and icon name. Okay, so they've all got their names and icons on this list. Yeah. All right. That is definitely better. All right, let's make sure this. Okay, so let's close this top line. I don't know where the top comes into it. I think this is really controls. So I don't know. That may be an overloaded word. All right, let's push this. Remove redundant name and icon name. Okay, so let's just try controls view. Now this. It's just not quite enough, is it? That goes to controls view. Not everybody does things this way, but I would love to get this, right? I mean, that's boilerplate too. But the control sheet, is that on the VStack? No, it's in it. See on the controls view. I don't know. We definitely have this repeated though. Well, this VStack looks redundant. Sorry, yeah, VStack. I guess I should take his closing brace out first. Okay, because the controls view is the only thing being stacked, there was no reason to have it. All right. And that's probably the case for a lot of these. VStack, yep. He doesn't have one. None there. Oh, we don't care about that one. Parsons view. Okay. I think that's all of them. Okay. All right. I guess we did capture speed setter. And these all look good. Okay, well, that was a productive session. We got our player done. We got some cleanup done on the UI. Thanks for joining. Tomorrow we'll pick up a little more cleanup, kind of dealing with error situations and then this initial selection thing. Thanks for joining. Take care. Bye-bye.